You are someone we are all wanting to talk to understand. There's this whole shortage of testing kits in this country, and we need a lot of it. And the pricing, the government has said minimum is like, the private labs have to charge is 4,500. And I saw somewhere you have also written this, that it is going to be expensive for people. So please take us through what is happening in the testing kit market right now.
Right. I know the entire country is anxious. Why we are not testing? Why we are not testing adequate? Do we have laboratories or not? Do we have reagents or not? Do we have bill or not?
Yeah.
So challenging is this test is different from rest of the routine tests. Rest of the routine tests have raw material, don't have a raw material paucity. COVID is only known for the last 100 days to the first man who has known it. And ever since we have known it, all of us are more in a panic mode than in a reacting mode. And the reagents take minimum 6 months to 1 year to get ready for a diagnosis once a new calamity has set in. In spite of that, I think there have been a day and night working by a lot of teams. Some kits are ready. These kits are ready, but unfortunately, the demand for these kits in the Western world is much more than the developing world. And the INR is not as tempting as dollars and euros, because of which India is not getting a share of these kits. And we have been undergoing a lot of stress, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I am surprised to see around 20 to 30% custom duty on it.
Wow.
Is it an oversight or is it intentional? I have no idea, because in the panic, probably people didn't see it. So that is adding to the cost. So there are some local companies who have been enlisted, but is that they lack capabilities, or is that they have agreed? I don't know. Their cost is even costlier than the imported kits.
Wow.
Now,
are we prepared?
And we are not yet prepared. So let me add a little more to it so that you will know where preparations are blocked. So one is reagent. The second one is the testing has to be done in swab, not in blood. Collecting blood is very, very simple. Collecting swab, that too with a patient who has a live virus or query live virus, how careful the individual who is going for a collection, it needs a protection kit, and the kit costs 1,000 rupees per head, which is supposed to be a disposable, not reusable.
Wow.
Third thing, the guy has got so much panicked, his parents are so panicked, he is not willing to go, even if we get 1,000 rupees for him to go and collect. Have you understood?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
all the three components are blocking. And one more is, we have 100,000 blood collection technicians in the country, but we don't have even 1,000 swab collection technicians.
Wow.
So these are all challenges which are only known to the laboratory man, may not be for government or for the other media.
So, Dr. Velumani, what are you suggesting? What are you saying? How will we deal with this? What should we be doing? And what is Thyrocare doing?
Thyrocare has started testing, but it is locked down. So we have no power to work it nationwide. We have to do only in Mumbai.
Why?
Because how will the specimen reach to Mumbai? Everything is locked down.
Oh, yeah.
So that is major block. And in Mumbai, once again, at the lockdown, the cops have not understood what is the emergency services. So only last 3-4 days, some solutions the local government has made. Today, we have passes for vehicles, passes for employees, and also for technicians. So today we are in a position to do 100 tests a day. We have started 4 days back. First day, 5 samples. Next day, 20 samples. Third day, 50 samples. Today we are reaching to 100 samples. So this is the best possible one laboratory can react, because it is COVID. It is not just another blood test.
Yeah. And in your team, people who are going for, doing this test, as you said, it's a swab test. Do you see a concern in your people, in your team?
Shall I tell you, 90% of the doctors have closed down their clinics and sitting at home with fear.
Wow.
Doctors, all clinics are closed down.
Wow.
What does it mean? It means even if a doctor is scared, the technician is more scared because their parents are telling, job, let it go. I don't want to lose you, my son.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is another fear. You know who are the only people without fear? Who are illiterate.
Yeah.
But we can't use them because they are not scared.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of challenges, a lot of emotions. You know, being heading an organization which is directly involved in COVID management in some aspect, it's a tough time.
You know, Mr. Velumani, you are on the front line, if I may say so. This is like you are fighting with right in, you know, on the ground, in the trenches. But if I can say, knowing you for so many years, someone who will have a calm shoulder and will be doing his best with his team is you, honestly.
No,
Also,
yeah, I am normally powerful. Today it is locked down, so my power seems to be not sufficient, to be very honest with you.
No, it should, you know, hopefully this will reach everyone and this should get resolved. So, Mr. Velumani, one question I have now before I let you go. How will we tackle this? And especially from a testing standpoint, because the biggest concern is that people are not getting tested. How will we address this? What are you proposing? What should we be doing?
Shraddha, there are some more problems. This is not an ordinary blood test. To do testing, you need a 5 crore worth infrastructure to secure the personnel who are working there.
Wow.
So everybody doesn't have. So that is why government is not opening it up, you know, just like that. But having said that, there could be some 500 hospitals who could either have an infrastructure or create a fast infrastructure. And you can't fight with 10 labs, 20 labs for a 1.3 billion population. So more labs to be authorized.
Yeah.
Number two, government should waive off all taxes so that everybody finds some motivation to work on it. And you deal with investors. I have an appeal. Investors should invest in such companies which are manufacturing COVID consumables and motivate them to scale up.
You know,
And
you should also support such ventures. You should also be investing in such ventures.
yes, I wish to do that also.
Yeah.
But having said that, all CSR funds can get in there. All investors who are looking for a long horizon also should look at it. So the next point is, enough swab collection technicians have to be trained.
Yeah. Yeah.
HR people should get in there. So there is a lot more. I have been very actively tweeting. If you follow, you will understand what actually is needed. I see a macroscopic picture. I see from countryside, business side, common man sides, technology side. And I believe that we can conquer it. Only thing is, it is a matter of scaling up. All should understand once the lockdown is over, there is a likelihood there will be a bit of spurt in the number of cases. We should have adequate resources to manage it.
And again, I want to just bring back before we on this test, you said that there are custom duties on these test kits.
Yes.
So if we don't have custom duty, then what would be the price?
25% less for the raw material.
Wow.
So 25% will be the less cost in the final product. Every consumable used have taxes. So that will substantially bring down. And if all the shareholders permit the laboratories to operate without any profit margin, it will be another 25% less.
Yeah.
And if CSR funds can be utilized to buy the kit and give to laboratories and ask them, charge only 1,000, don't charge more, I am giving you kit free. There is a likelihood laboratories will follow the dictate.
You know, Dr. Velumani, again, you are such a visionary and you are also an entrepreneur, and Thyrocare had such a remarkable listing I want to ask, today this question to you, because I think the labs, everyone today is also in a business, because at the end of the day, there is profit, there is money to be made. But today, how do you look? This is also an opportunity to, for many of the private clinics, private hospitals, private testing companies to make money, right? But today, I know for sure that you will not be looking at this, but what goes in the minds of all these labs, private labs and private hospitals at this time?
Shradha, you know I am known for punchlines.
Yes.
Let me tell you the punchline.
Huh.
If you make profit this year,
Huh.
next year you may not exist.
Yeah.
If you don't make profit this year, there is a likelihood you exist for too long.
Wow. 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 Thank you. I hope
Thank
this
you.
message, everyone in this country hears it. Thank you,
Thank you
Dr.
very much.
Thank you from all of us. Thank you. Thanks.